I'm Anna.
I'm Ben.
We're AutoSave. Welcome to our channel.
Today we're watching Neon Genesis Evangelion episode 10. Last episode, Shinji and Asuka became perfectly in sync.
I could see them going to some arcade somewhere and doing some DDR together.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, I think they'd be really good. I mean, obviously Rei and Shinji would probably kill it as well, but I'd like to see all of that.
Yeah, me too. I wonder if we're gonna learn a little bit more about Asuka's backstory, mom, perhaps, this episode or the coming episodes.
Maybe somewhere in the future.
Yeah,
I would like to learn.
I'm sure we'll learn. Also, class rep showed up at our house last episode. I kind of
Right.
hope that continues.
I do hope that it continues. I like kind of breaching of what is this adult job work, saving the world with school and normalcy and friendships and them coming to the apartment
By
to
the
walk to school
End
together.
of the series, the entire class will be there every morning.
Yes.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Sweet. Ooh. Kaji, Kaji, Kaji.
なんだねえねえこれなんかどう中学生にはちょっと早すぎるんじゃないかなカジさん遅れてるこんくらい当たり前よ
I like the zipper.
ほうそうなんだ
The zipper would suck if you were like tanning on your stomach.
The big school trip.
どこ
Okinawa!
Yeah.
スクーバーダイビングも入
Wait, is it safe for us to go away on a school trip?
そういや
It's scuba, Anna. We've gotta go.
カジさんは修学旅行どこ行ったの俺たちそんなのなかったんだどうしてセカンドインパクトが
Magmadiver. I don't like that. I kind of like it.
We're like scuba diving and we see an angel under the water.
修学旅行に行っちゃダメどうして戦闘待機だもの聞いてないわよ今言ったわ誰が決めたのよ担当の私が決めたの
She just would miss you too much.
あんたちょっとなんか言ってやったらどうなの男でしょ
僕は多分こういうことになるんじゃないかと思って
諦めてたってわけ
うん
I love Shinji so much.
飼いならされた男なんて最低
そういう言い方はやめてよ
首都の攻撃があるかもしれないでしょたまには敵の居場所を突き止めて攻めに行ったらどうなの
Yeah.
Yeah, let's track them.
出るわよ
Yeah.
のみんなが修学旅行に行ってる間少しは勉強ができるでしょでも思ってるのあなたたちが学校のテストで何点取ったかなんて情報ぐらい筒抜けな定式のテストなんか何の興味もないわ郷にいれば郷に従え盆の学校にも慣れてちょうだい
So, neither of them are very good
お
students.
土産買ってくるから
Oh, class rep.
二人とも残念だ
I believe you will.
修学旅行こんなご時世にのんきなものね
なご時世だからこそ遊べるときに遊びたいのよあの子たち何してんの
理科の勉強
たくお利口さんなんだからじゃーん沖縄でスクーバーできないんだからどれどれ何やってんのちょっと見せて
Shinji hasn't forgotten about last episode.
We haven't forgotten.
はいできた問題に何が書いてあるのか分かんなかったのよ
Oh.
これ今後の説問が読めなかった
So she can speak.
そうまだ漢字全部覚えてないのよね向こうの大学じゃ習ってなかったしあ去年卒業したのこれはなんて書いてあんの
熱膨張にか
ツボーチョ幼稚なことやってんのねってのを温めれば膨らんで大きくなる
Yeah.
冷やせば縮んで小さ胸だけ温めれば少しはおっぱいが大きくなるのかな
そんなこと
つまんない男
You're not boring, Shinji.
Rei.
見て見てシンジバックロールエントリー
Cool.
Wait,
It's
are
on the
we-
floor?
しかし浅間山地震研究所の報告通り
マギの判断は
50-50です
Oh, 50-50.
すでに葛城1位が到着しています
What do we think, Misato?
もう限界
Are we going scubaing in
あ
lava?
と500お願いします
Whoa.
葛城さん
壊れたらうちで弁償します解析開始
はい
ギリで間に合いましたね。
間違いない。使徒だわ。これより当研究所は
Kind of looks like
I
Adam.
know.
ネルフの管轄下となります。A17 を要請して大至急。
気をつけてください。これは
さっさと守秘回線に切り替えて。
17こちらから撃って出るのか。そうです。
15年前を忘れたとは言わせんぞ。
これはチャンスなんです。これまで防戦一方だった我々がリスクが大きすぎるな。生きた使徒のサンプル、その重要性はすでに承知のことでしょう。
Are we gonna be repeating history here completely with this episode?
失敗か。その時は人類そのものが消えてしまうよ。本当にいいんだな。
これが使徒？
そうよ。まだ完成体になっていないさなぎの状態みたいなものね。使徒の捕獲を最優先とします。できうる限り原型をとどめ、
できなかった時は？
即時殲滅。いいわね。
はい。
当社は
私が潜る。
でもまた僕なんだろうな。
アスカ。2号機で担当して。
こんなの楽勝じゃん。
Interesting.
私は特殊装備は規格外
Okay.
だよ。
レイと0号機は本部での待機を命じます。
温泉行けなくって。
A17 が発令された以上すぐに出るわ。
耐熱仕様のプラグスーツといってもいつ
右のスイッチを押してみて。
Cooling. Oh my god.
対角
Oh, this is fun.
局地専用の D 型装備。
これが私の2号機。
She's like, what did you do to it?
嫌だ。私降りる。
いつかの勇姿が見れると思ってたんだけどな。
でもこんなダサいの着てカジさんの前に出る勇気なんてないわ。
僕が
私が2号機で出るわ。気に触ってほしくないの。悪いけどファーストが出るくらいなら私が行くわ。
That gave her the confidence.
悪いけど我慢してね。
Magmadiver.
Could you get the bends in magma? Surely not. It's not.
Do we even know anything to know how it works? I don't think we have much experience with magma
カジさ
diving.
んはあのバカは来ないわよ。せっかくカジさんにもいいとこ
He'll
見せよ
hear
うと
about
思
it.
ったのに。
7の発令ね。それには原子さんの凍結も含まれている。
さぞ多いでしょうな。
なぜ止めなかったの？
発令は正式なものです。
でもネルフの失敗は図を意味するのよ。
彼らはそんなに傲慢ではありませんよ。
何ですかあれ。
UN の空軍が空中待機してる。
手伝ってくれるの？
いえ、後始末よ。私たちが失敗した時のね、使徒を N2 爆雷で熱処理するのよ。私たちごとね。
Wow.
はい。誰が出すんですか。
理解司令よ。
了解。準備はどう？いつでもどうぞ。
発進。
She looks so cute. Doesn't she? This nice music, you know?
そう。見て見て、シンジ。ジャイアントストロング。現在震度170。
This would be fucking awesome.
問題なし。視界はゼロ。T モニターに切り替えます。もう透明度120か。
震度400、600、650、900、950。
This is tense.
安全震度オーバー。震度1300。
Every like crackle you hear in the metal, you know?
何か見える？反応なし。
思ったより対流が早いよね。
Oh, it's
目
moved.
標の移動速度に誤差が生じています。
再度進行よろしく。
1400。第二循環パイプに亀裂発生。1480。
I am not brave enough for this.
続けて。
アスカ、どう？
さっさと終わらせてシャワー浴びたい。
近くにいい温泉がある。限界震度プラス120。
My anxiety, my stomach.
桂木さん、もうこれ以上は。今度は人が乗っているんですよ。
続けてください。ミサトの言う通りよ。大丈夫、まだいけるわ。
目標予測修正地点です。
Come on.
捕獲準備。対流で流されているから接触のチャンスは一度しかないわよ。
不評接触まであと30。
相対速度 2.2 軸線に乗ったわ。
Holy shit.
目標捕獲しました。
ナイスアスカ。
捕獲作業終了。これより浮上します。
Until she's out of there, I will not feel good.
大丈夫？
案ずるより有無が安しってね。やっぱ楽勝じゃん。
緊張がいっぺんに解けたみたいね。
そう
怖かったんでしょ。
まあね、下手に手を出せばあれの二の舞ですものね。
セカンドインパクト。二度とごめんだわ。
何よこれ。
まずいわ。
And we don't have our knife, right?
キャッチャーは
とても持ちません。
No way it can hold!
捕獲中止。作戦変更。首都殲滅を最優先。2号機は撤収作業をしつつ戦闘準備。待ってました。
Yeah.
ナイフは落としちゃったんだわ。バースト放出。
Oh. Jesus, what can angels survive, you know?
初号機のナイフを落とすわ。受け取って。
Oh,
了解。
how's Viz?
まだなのシンジ。
Come on, Shinji.
急速接近中。
いやー、来ないでー。もう遅い。
Oh my god.
Oh!
この状況下で口を開くなんて。
Oh!
耐熱処置。こんちきさ
Oh, fuck!
Oh,
高温高圧。これだけの曲プログナイフじゃダメだ。
ではどうすれば？
そうだ、さっきのやつ。
なるほど。熱暴
Oh!
脱力をすべて3番に回して。
oh, oh no! That's what I was worried about!
せっかくやったのに。だな、ここまでなの。
Oh my fucking god. Oh.
シンジ。バカ、無理しちゃって。
I'm emotional.
黒はそこを左だ。
Yeah, he wants to know. Get him there fast.
極楽極楽。風呂がこんなに気持ちいいなんて知らなかったな。
使える。はい。投げてくれる？持ってきたのなくなっちゃった。あは、アスカの方だってすごくクスクスしてて面白い。やだ、くすぐったい。じゃないし。
包丁してしまった。
Oh my god. Oh wow,
Scar?
Misato's scar.
あ、これね。セカンドイン
Got
パ
it
クト。
in the
What?
second impact.
私のこともみんな。ま、仕事だからね。お互いもう昔のことだもの。することないわ。
Interesting. Okay, that was Neon Genesis Evangelion, episode 10. My stomach hurts a little bit. Upon hearing that, like, once we were cut, everything in me for watching TV and watching media and reading books, I'm like, it's gonna be fine. Shinji's gonna show up and be there. But once it, like, sunk for just a second and you hear the metal begin to implode, I started... Like, it felt like I started having a panic attack almost. I was freaking out and I was so scared.
Yeah, the pressure building. I literally in what was happening, the pressure was building, and in my stomach, like in my body,
Yeah.
it was building. My anxiety was already anxietying, You know, it was already
Yeah.
happening prior. You know, just her being down there before once we even had it captured, you know, and nothing, it wasn't emerging yet. I was still anxious. I was like, I'm gonna be anxious until she literally gets out of here.
Yeah. Wow. I love the through line of thermal expansion, and it didn't stop just at fighting the angel.
Well, that's
It
just
continued.
like one of my favorite things is when you have a theme and you bring up a bunch of different examples of that one theme, and sometimes it lasts episodes, sometimes it's just in one episode, and so you see multiple examples of said theme. It's beautiful, honestly.
Would you go? Okay, like if you're in this world and you're Asuka or one of the pilots, would you entertain the idea of like accepting the mission, or would you give it off to Rei if you were in Asuka's position? I'm trying to gauge where your like diving comfortability would be.
Well, I've never done it before, and therefore my comfortability would probably be a negative number.
So like, okay, let's say if you could dive in water, it's kind of deep, but you have 100% visibility, 70% visibility. Would you do it?
If I was a pilot out of like 3 pilots on a mission that I've already dedicated myself to, that is protecting mankind and the world, I would do it, obviously, because I'm in that position.
Okay.
Do I want to?
Yeah.
No.
God.
But obviously, when it comes to like Rei offering, yes, she's offering, but then again, it's also kind of difficult for her even to take the position.
I
because
get-
she would have to pilot 02.
Yeah, I
They'd
guess-
have to be able to sync with 02.
I guess what I'm getting at is like more like they have the world on their shoulders, regardless of individual outlooks of what their own responsibility is and what they're focusing on. But there are a lot of people who go diving for like treasure and stuff, and you're doing that in like sometimes 0 visibility, and you're risking your life for potentially nothing.
Right,
Would you do that? I would. Like,
I wouldn't, but something I'm going to say next is the idea that you've already gone through events where you've risked your life before, and therefore you have now experience with doing more dangerous things.
yeah.
So obviously magma diving is just yet another time, an example where you could die, and as pilots they are probably aware of that at this point
Mhm.
because of the fights that they've been in prior to this. So if this was not my like first time doing some death-defying stunt, then I think that I would be comfortable accepting this mission.
Yeah. Okay, I want to start talking about the angels. So,
Okay.
this angel looked like it was very similar in like its position, I guess, to Adam before
Time in life?
Yeah, before breaching, right?
Yeah,
like
emerging.
I don't know if time or emerging, right? I don't know if time and life is where I'd go. I'm just saying like visually they looked somewhat similar.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And that like one of the ideas is like we had the UAP angel, and the UAP angel was fucking awesome. I wish I had a keycap of that. But like you had to entertain at that point like where are the angels coming from? And I think that's a great question. But this angel seemingly was already here. And
Yeah.
it
in a point where how did he even get there if not it was already in the Earth's crust?
it was either like why was it in the Earth's crust, even if that's the interpretation we're going with? Was it put there but like a celestial type Marvel-esque thing? Like was it like I don't, this is older, I'm not trying to make a comparison between the two, but like in terms of trying to figure out how long they've been here, were they implanted at a certain point in Earth's history and they slowly have been like awakening and coming out after the second impact? Like where, like was it just put here? Did it fall from the sky last night and it woke up? Because it didn't really give that impression.
It reminds me of when the polar ice caps start melting, then things could be revealed to us, like diseases or illnesses we have not seen in modern times, or things we don't have any experience with. You know, a woolly mammoth, you know, something, things can be unfrozen.
Mm-hmm.
So with giving Adam also the title of like the first human, it, to me, these are like, that would be more evidence to these are ancient beings that were maybe even fossilized within the Earth's crust, and once they get kind of, there was an earthquake, once they get revealed to whatever elements they need to be able to emerge and survive then in come out and be alive and terrorize.
Would you say then that they're offspring of Adam if we're gonna categorize Adam as the first human because that was the language given to us? Like if you're thinking biblically, Adam and Eve, when they have Cain and Abel, Adam is the first human and therefore his children are his offspring.
I guess I would see these then as either evolutions of said ancient being or species or something.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Well, I wanted to reread some of the lines we got once we have Misato talking on the phone requesting an A-17 from Commander Ikari. Watch what you're saying, open line. I know, hurry up and switch to a scrambled line. A-17, we're going to launch an offensive? Correct. Unacceptable, it's too dangerous. You had better not say you've forgotten what happened 15 years ago.
Imagine what would happen if he did say he forgot in this conversation. That would have been hilarious.
This is a chance to move from a consistently defensive posture to an offensive one for the first time. The risk is too large. However, I'm sure you're aware how important a live angel sample would be.
But we don't even feel like we can, we can't even contain it once it emerges. So, we really can only have a live sample. We only have the capability of housing a live sample if it has yet to emerge from its, chrysalis.
Yeah, you're really sure about this? And then we switch off. And then later in the episode, we get the line of dialogue that's referencing this entire thing as hopefully it not being a repeat performance in comparison to the second impact.
Yep.
So the second impact, I imagine, is us... Now I don't know. I was going to say us attempting to extract an angel before it was breached. Was that the terminology? Breached? Emerged. Before it emerged.
I used breached earlier. That's probably why that word is floating out there.
But if that's the implication, then... So my original thought was okay, was the second impact us getting Adam? But... that would be inherently different because this one did emerge.
Right.
What's your interpretation of it?
The second impact is always, from what I've gathered in different evidence, is definitely a man-made event, and we interfered in some way and therefore caused cataclysmic issues that affected everyone in their school trips, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Just that, really. No, I'm kidding. I would see that if we're just saying that there is a parallel here and there's so many other parallels to 15 years ago and reference to the second impact coming up within this episode in other instances, it does breed the question and the idea that we're saying that it is an incredibly similar operation that we are attempting here. Going on the offensive, maybe could just be taglined as going on the offensive is what is similar.
Maybe. So are you not necessarily connecting the second impact to Adam and us retrieving it?
It's possible, but my main issue with that is why did Kaji have to bring it to Gendo? Was it kept somewhere else for research? Did some other party have kind of dominion over it or owned it and then we had to get it from him?
It could be kept somewhere else. It could be within Nerve having more priority within the offensive or defensive against angels be transferred over. It could be you have to continuously move it around because it ends up being a hot spot that the angels are following. Yeah. Okay, if we're considering the idea that the angels are related to Adam and potentially could even be offspring, that would be more reason that they'd be connected to it.
Mm-hmm, that they would be drawn to it. Yeah, and did he get it where he got picked up Asuka? Were they retrieved in the exact same location? We're not necessarily told that his trip to being in Germany and being with Asuka on the ship is that he literally got Adam in Germany.
Yeah.
But it could be then said, was Adam used for research to have this upgraded non-prototype Eva that Asuka gets to pilot?
Yeah, that's true.
Still, I think what we're discovering here, which I don't even think it needed to be discovered because I think we both could have fully said this with confidence, is that there are a lot of questions still, and we have evidence, but we don't have enough at least confidently at the moment, for either of us to be like, this is exactly what happened, and I understand what these angels are completely.
There's just like we got even like more showing of Gendo being the person to arrange the bombs ready to come in case we fail, like to dispatch against us, including the angel, to try to stop it immediately if everything goes wrong. And I'm just like, damn, Gendo's been through something so similar before. That's what the language that we just read off screen was telling me. What was it? Is it connecting the thing that we just saw him get and saw something similar to on screen, which would be Adam?
Right.
I don't know.
We were not gonna fail this time, or at least be known to have failed to some degree where a bunch of other people died other than this secret operation with Nerve.
Yeah. I have a question for you.
Okay.
So, in regards to one of the last scenes where we get Asuka and Misato in the spa, in the hot spring, we get the revelation that she has a scar.
Okay.
We get the idea that it was from the second impact.
Uh-huh.
If Asuka's asking Misato, like, oh yeah, you've read everything about me, right? Does that imply that Misato knows what happened to Asuka's mom? And if that's the case, does that imply that, like, I'm going off the deep end, like, was Asuka's mom working with Nerve in a similar degree that Misato was? And in the way that Misato was injured, Asuka's mom got injured in a similar way or worse?
So 15 years ago, I imagine that all of the kids are around that age, and we have even discussed why would they even be good pilots and the chosen ones, if not maybe being born directly after the second impact, during the second impact, some kind of correlation to the second impact happening makes them perfect to be pilots. That could definitely bring up mom. Was she directly a part of the research? Was she killed in the second impact? Was she pregnant at the time during the second impact? There's a lot of things that could come into play here of why, but it definitely feels like my past, my mom specifically, and you know about it, is related to
this conversation linked Asuka's mom to Nerve for me, and last episode they weren't linked necessarily. You know what I mean?
Well, why else was she trained for such a long time to be a pilot, right?
Yeah.
She's had so much experience and so much training as a pilot, way more than Shinji, obviously, that it definitely feels like, and her readiness to be a pilot and with this mission, she has a dedication to it that is unlike Rey's dedication to it. Rey's dedication to it is just the belief in the lofty goal, which is a great goal, which is protecting everyone. It's what she's been told that she can do. She kind of follows directions. But Asuka's dedication to it definitely feels
she has something to prove.
Feels like she has something to prove, but it also feels like this is something that was made for her, and she is embracing it fully because it is going to fulfill something for her internally.
I agree with you.
So yeah, I would definitely say Mother has something major to do with Angels, Second Impact, Nerve, all of three of them, or just one of them, but probably a little more involved than just one of them.
Okay. My next thing that I have is a little moment we got in the episode with Kaji. It kind of like came out of nowhere for me. And
I felt really like taken aback by this. I know exactly. Obviously, it was the one scene I feel like that in this episode kind of stands out to the viewer as what's going on here.
Yeah.
Hold on, there's some context I'm missing.
Like Asuka's like, oh yeah, wait, where's Mr. Kaji? Isn't he watching me be cool? That jerk won't be here. There's nothing for him to do. Damn, I wanted him to see how great I am. So an A-17 has been ordered. That includes the freeze of all current assets. I'm pretty sure that there are many people who will put out by that. Why didn't you stop them? I didn't have any excuse. The order was official. But if Nerve fails, it'll mean the end of the world. They're not that arrogant.
That line is, so I ended that scene off initially. I'm going to talk about my initial feelings about that scene. I initially ended off that scene with the not that arrogant line, and all I could see in my brain for that split second after that line was said was that smile on Gendo's face about not after everyone was saying they didn't want a repeat of the like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we sure we're not arrogant specifically? Like that's him saying that they're not that arrogant. I'm like, okay, well, am I going to see something in the future that either proves this statement that Kaji has a correct read on Gendo and Nerve, or am I going to see in the future that they are in fact that arrogant? Therefore, we're going to see some crazy stuff happening that could be major risky situations for everyone, not just people at Nerve, not just the pilots. But that focusing on that line definitely is not the appropriate response to that scene. I left that scene initially being like, we are talking to someone that we should not be talking to as an employee of Nerve. This is, we're literally both facing away from each other in a way that is, oh, we're not actually having, if anyone was to take a picture of us riding in this thing or being around each other, they wouldn't be able to prove that we were in a conversation. They wouldn't be able to prove that we knew each other because we're both just happening to like face away during this conversation as if we're not involved with each other.
Mm-hmm.
But who is he reporting to? Who is he telling things to, and why? Why does this person think that he should be stopping Nerve from doing certain things that are risky, or that he might have the power to do so? It also makes me second guess any loyalty he might have to the mission and to Gendo.
Interesting. I kind of like where you're going with that.
Mm-hmm.
Could also just be like Misato's like rival in love.
Oh.
You know?
See, it's fun to go with the loyalty aspect because he's so heavily trusted. He's the one that brought Adam here.
Yeah.
The highly classified, really important box that probably is why the angels were attacking.
But also, like, knowing Gendo and knowing the follow-through, if things do go wrong here, I don't know if he'd want to be around, especially with what I imagine forces with the N2 bombs that, like, would be taken and, like, immediately if Nerve fails here.
Right. There's nothing for him to do here, but also we know that if it was incredibly risky, he wouldn't be here to begin with, because we've already seen him leave when his life would be at risk. He did have Adam at the time.
Yeah.
So maybe his life is expendable if you ask anyone else in Nerve, but like it doesn't seem like he's in a position that he's like, oh yeah, I'll just be there in this situation.
He wasn't told like when to leave. He was told that if things get bad and look bad, he should leave. Therefore, you're trusting this man's judgment of when to get the fuck out and play it safe.
There's a lot of trust being put on him, not just with what you're giving him to carry and to ship to you, get to you basically, but just the knowledge that you're trusting him with, his own judgment of when things are too risky and that he needs to abandon ship, literally.
I liked him shopping with Asuka. It sucks that we weren't able to go to Okinawa. I did like the conversation about it, though. Like, with the state of the world, how dangerous everything is right now, why are we going to Okinawa? It's probably because of that we are. Like, if you can get some semblance and small bit of freedom and vacation feeling in people at the state the world's in, that's what we should try to strive for.
I wrote down a question that actually has to do very similarly with that topic, which is how much traveling is really actually happening right now. Obviously, we know that there are safe havens for people. There are cities that people are living in, and we are having to remake some maps sometimes, but there are areas where people are relatively safe and kind of living their normal day-to-day lives across different countries. So I imagine that traveling is happening, but it's probably nothing like it ever was before.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, the entire world's changed. I don't even know have we been given, like, an actual population count of the world after the second impact happened?
I don't think that we were given a population count.
Because I think that would have like, I could actually answer your question in terms of travel, because at the moment it's just a question that nobody could answer.
See, the question didn't need to be, like, actually answered. It was more, I was asking it from what Ritsuko was saying, which was like, oh, are they really going on school trips like at a time like this? And the idea of the importance of trying to have some things to be happy.
I think you could take that and probably apply it to every place that has the same amount of population and more within the world, right? That would be my guess.
Yeah. I imagine that there is traveling happening, and there are school trips happening for different schools out there, but that
Sure.
it's like maybe some parents don't let their kids go.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Class rep's gonna get gifts for Asuka though.
Which is, I'm so
Shinji's
glad.
fucked. Toji...
He's not getting any gifts.
Toji and Ido are just doing their own thing, and I appreciate it. They're probably gonna get gifts for Misato, if I had to guess, though.
Oh. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, and my last thing is just Pen appreciation. We got quite a bit of him this episode, and I'm thankful for it.
I'm thankful for that too. My last thing is just how incredibly emotional Shinji made me in this episode. When he...
At the end?
No.
Oh.
When he jumped in there to save her, basically, to save Asuka, I was tearing up. I was like, he didn't have to have an order to do that. The idea that this is a character that when we're introduced to him, he needs to have either major incentive or an order in order to act, in order to do something as grand as what we saw him do in this episode. This was him just so completely caring about her and just focusing on getting her out and saving her that he jumped in there, and it was an incredibly emotional scene.
Shinji's emotional connections that he has with the few amount of people that he does are extremely integral to him now, because it's something that he was never able to even comprehend the idea of what it would be like. And now that he's in that situation of something, the closest he's ever had to an actual family, he will do anything for them.
And from this episode, we can see that he has those connections, and he's definitely appreciating them and noticing them. He feels like he's starting to understand them. The little sighs that he does when Asuka's just doing her normal thing, that he seems to kind of just now know that that's her. But at the pool scene, she's doing she's like, watch me with my scuba diving. And when he looks over at Rei, who's getting out of the pool and like, wiping off her hair, I took that as like, he's having these friendships, he's forging these bonds, but one is yet to really be forged. And really, he's like, it looks like he's kind of still longing for more of a friendship, a connection with Rei, maybe wanting to welcome her more into the group, maybe wondering how it can work to get her to start interacting more with them.
I feel like he's just present, and he is like observing what's happening around him, and there isn't too much after it. But I did find it really interesting that like the whole idea of both of them doing shit in school, but like Asuka can't read Japanese as well, or can't read as well or translate as well, but if it's spoken to her, she's able to comprehend it better based on her studies.
Which, when we took a Japanese class, one of us was able to read better and the other person was able to hold a conversation better.
Yeah, I thought that they had said Chinese though,
characters,
right?
yeah.
I'm pretty sure they did.
I am almost, because I was a little like, oh, what? Was that like for a second I thought that there might be a issue with the subtitles.
There's more chance that there's an issue with us. Let's be real.
Honestly.
All right, but you good?
Yep.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We hope to see you next time.